Okay, so lesson 21, Soni wa taha, the noun substitute I with E and the definite article he. Let's look at the dialogue. Okingawa iha tele. All right. All right. Hopefully we can look in that then. All right. Yeah, okay, let's do the dialogue first and then we can go into that. Let's start over. So, Okingawa iha tele. Um, no, that sounds good. Io, o ko whai ako ai? Te ke whalau he waka? Io, te whalau ai. Okay. Te mo he pasi ki nukunuku. Ia he pasi. Io, te mau o ai ki ai. Right, so this one's kind of like a good example that's used because I is used twice. So right, so here I is in the bus or like it's the substitute for he pasi, and then ki ai is a substitute for ki nuku. So yeah, yeah, just like the only pronunciation I would mention is okuo. Um, it blurs together a little bit more, so it sounds like oko, like coal is kind of how it's abbreviated a lot. Yeah, coal is yeah, yeah. It doesn't really sound like okuo in spoken Tongan. Yeah, yeah. You could say I oko whaiakoai. Yeah, that would sound good. Mhm. So yeah, this is important. E before he is very often dropped. He says almost always. Um, so instead of te folau I he waka, it's te folau he waka. And this sort of using he. Mhm. Yeah, so yeah, there's no confusion because he, right? Because the definitive article can be he or e, and be, yeah, after e, he, yeah. So there's no confusion. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, so also on the boat, and then okay fa'alu I he pasi becomes okay fa'alu he pasi. So here, oku ke fa'alu I he pasi instead in spoken Tongan is oku fa'alu he pasi. Yeah. And then like an important thing, Yeah, fa'alu. It's kind of fa'alu. Yeah. And again, this is good because it kind of brings up a few things from the previous lessons. Fa'a meaning like often, and then definitive accent here, so you know. Because actually, if this wasn't a definitive accent, if this was hebasi, this would kind of just mean by bus, just in general. But with the definitive accent, you mean the bus, like the specific bus that you're referring to. Okay, so here are the drills. Daheke basi. Dahekai. Moheka. Hmm. Yeah, right. Get in the vehicle. Um, yeah. So this one, Moheka. This is really common because Tongans will like if they see you walking from one village to another. Um, Sometimes like if they know you or they're just trying to be nice, they'll tell you to get in their car. So yeah, they'll give you a ride to the wherever you're walking to. And that usually starts with just saying Moheka. Yeah, Heka is universal for any vehicle. So cars, planes, boats. Um, Heka is the word to mean, yeah, bicycle as well. Heka is the word to mean like to board it and get on. Um, then Namamohe basi. Namamohe ai. It's yeah. And this one I think I misspoke for a second. It's Mao, not Mao Mohe. Yeah. Um, mhm. Teka alohe basi. Te mo ngawe vava'u. Te mo ngawe ai. Mm-hmm. Ke whaakai wharekai. Yeah, so especially in this, like when it starts and when it's like a longer sentence, okuke a lot of the time can sound like ke. Hmm. Correct, yeah. Yeah, so a lot of the times you'll even see Tongans will just write this as like ke, just like this. Ke wharekai wharekai. And that's just short for okuke. Hmm. And this abbreviation is a lot more easy to understand because it's just you're just removing one of the words. Um, but yeah. And that's just because okuke just gets reduced when said fast to ke. Yeah, right. Hmm. Right. Um, yeah. Kufa'akaiai right here. Kufa'akaiai. Mm-hmm. Ke nofo i pea, ko nofai. Na ke hao he whaka, The only pronunciation is in ha'u, the glottal stop is usually pronounced pretty well. Mako ha'ai. Te ke foke e tofua. Te foke ai. Yeah, so one of the things here is tofua capital T is the name of a boat. And so yeah, this isn't short for Kihei tofu or like Kitofua. Um, yeah, I guess that's weird. That is weird that they have a definitive accent there. I mean, it may just be that because it's a boat, the rules are slightly different, maybe. Um, Let me see if that was a typo though. Right, yeah, yeah, you're right. So yeah, so that's exactly it, right? So because it's the tofua, not just tofua, and that's why it takes the definitive accent. Right? So question and answers. Substituting I for the objects of E, where we will be dropping. So yeah, the question and answer thing, it's just making a note here that we will be substituting I for the objects of E, and it just says here to remember in the spoken language, E is usually dropped when it occurs with the definitive article hey. Right? Um, yeah, yeah, it's dropped when there's a hey. Um, okay, ngawe kolo. Yeah, it does. Okay, 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 ngawe kolo. Io, io o ko ngawe ai. Na ke nofo he waka, io na ko nofo ai. O ko moloto i kolo, io o ko maloto ai. Na ke aku i atere, io na ko ako ai. Mhm. Ke wha ako pulu i kolo, io ko wha ako pulu ai. Alright, yeah, ako pulu. So here, yeah, oh, mhm, right. And so, yeah, so the meanings of these sentences aren't listed, but are there any meanings that you don't quite understand? Right, yeah, I get that. Yeah, so it's like, do you work in town? Yes, I work there. Yeah, so this one look it means more like do you go to church in town? Yeah. Yeah, so it is loto is the same word for pray, but like in this context, it like because it means both of those things, but in this context, it's clear that it means attend Sunday service. hmm It's like, yeah, I do, or I go to church there. And then Atele was one that we learned. Mhm. Yep, that's the name of a school. Hmm. Yeah, I often play rugby there. Yeah, so vocabulary. Yeah, Akapulu is introduced to this. Uh-huh. It just means to play rugby or rugby in general. So a verb or a noun. Right. Yeah, so the heka is ride, get on to ride, or sit on top. So yeah, this it works for any vehicle. Yeah, horses as well. You would heka onto a horse. Nomuka, I don't remember this being in the chapter, but yeah, Nomuka is an island pretty north of Tongatapu. It's if we pull up the maps, it's like almost to Vava'u. It's actually kind of closer to. Sorry, I meant Hapai. It's pretty close to Hapai there. So yeah, so we have Vava'u up here, Tongan down here, Hapai right here, and then Nomuka is kind of it is closer to Hapai than it is to Tonga. It's right here. Right, it's small. So if you see up here in the yeah, so they're pretty spread out. Namuka is there. There's a lot of people that live there. It's one of the islands that got pretty hard by the volcano because the volcano is right here. Um, and so it hit the north shore of Tonga, and it also hit Nomuka. And Nomuka is one of the I think three people in total died. Yeah, and one of the people who died was from Nomuka. I think they drowned. But yes, so the other view didn't see this, but the middle of the island is a large sort of um I assume that this isn't drinkable water. Um but yeah, there's like a big body of water in the middle. Yeah, this is water in the middle. No, no, yeah, this is all water. You might be able to see it's the image is a little blurry, but yeah, they're like waves in it. And then so you can see the villages on the south side kind of facing west. And so it was facing directly towards the volcano. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see, when was this image taken? Oh, this year. So this is post tsunami, this image that's been taken here. Um it does yeah, there's a lot of damage still. Like that house, I don't think there's a lot of debris. Um it seems as though this was taken very soon after the tsunami because like it's still like very bad right here. There's a lot of debris, but there are still buildings standing by the shore. Um, so that is Namuka. Nuku Nuku is just one of the villages in Tongatapu. Basi is just the Tonganized word for bus. Bea, capital P, is a village in Tongatapu. It's like right in the center. So it's here, I think. Yeah, no, it's here. Yeah, so right in the center. Um, kind of like you have to pass by it to get to town from the airport. So and it has a yeah, it has Costlo in it. Costlo is like a Western style like bulk seller of groceries and whatever. And so like if you want like really nice American stuff, you go to Costlo, and that's in Bea. So the airport is down here in Fuamotu. And so you land here and then you gotta go up through here to get to town. Tofua is a large boat that I'm not sure if the Tofua. I'm pretty sure the Tofua has been decommissioned since, but I'm not sure. When I was in Tonga, there was the Otonga Ofa, which was a big cargo boat that kind of went in between all the islands. There was also the Tongyake and the Maui, which were passenger boats. And then Vaka is just the word for a boat warship. Okay, lesson 22. Introduce the predicate adjective and the adverbial modifier aupito. Um, Dialogue is "Ok lata heni." Um, for me, like I kind of switch in between okuke and ge, just depending on how fast I'm speaking, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so if I was speaking carefully, I would be like okuke lata heni. Um, but if I was speaking like in a conversation, I'd be more inclined to say ke lata heni, like that. Iyo ko lata opito heni. Yeah, so this was a question I was asked a lot in Tonga. So like as a foreigner, Tongans would constantly ask me like, "Okay, lata i Tonga," and I'd always respond, "Iyo oko lata o pito heni." And so yeah, contented is kind of how it is. And importantly, tae lata, sort of the inverse of that, means homesick. Yeah. So yeah, basically the opposite of homesick is kind of a good way to think of it. Um, right. The notes, adjectives may be treated just like verbs in Tongan. So yeah. So teo mohe, teo kai, oko hela ia, oko fia fia. No, this isn't a very super pronounced glottal stop. The sort of glottal stop ia, yeah, hela ia. Yeah, and that's sort of because without it, it would be kind of like helaya, which is not how it sounds at all. It's not helaya, it's helaia. And so this is another case where the glottal stop kind of just indicates that there's a break in between these. Yeah, so the penultimate. Yeah, and then yeah, so that helps even more. But in Tongan, I think it mentions it, but sometimes if sort of these vowel combinations that are commonly diphthongs in English, like AI, OU, AU, a lot of the time, sometimes the stress will kind of sound like it's on the third to last. And it'll kind of sound like it, like if it was written like this, it would kind of actually sound like Helaya. Like that's actually more how it would sound. And the glottal stop makes it much more obvious that it's Helaia. And then Fiafia would also go there. Oko Fiafia. Yeah, so there's no. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just verbs and adjectives go in the same grammatical slot. Um, so we're contrast Alpito and Fa'a. Yeah, so yeah, Tongan has a lot of things where like some things go before, like Fa'a, Oko Ita, Oko Fa'ita. And then, but Alpito goes after, so Oko Fa'ita Alpito. And then, sort of another thing is, in general, it goes after. That's just sort of like the standard for Tongan. It's kind of just like there's a few things that go before, like fa'a, and I can't really think of one off the top of my head. But yeah, um, Ita. Yes, it's not ita. If you said ita, that's a different word. Ita. Yeah, so one thing is because the I is the stressed vowel in here, it comes out a little bit more, and especially since usually if you were saying I'm angry, usually you'd be angry, and so yeah, like the angrier you are, the harsher the glottal stops become, and like the louder you're being. Oh, go ita, like go ita opito. Yeah, so like in this, go fa ita opito. Like both of these glottal stops really come out more. Ita opito. You know, and then okay, so drills. We'll do substitution. Que lata, que haraia, que fia, que taelata, que moua, que fiakaya, que fiinua, que makona. Yeah, fiinua. Que makona. Mhm. Angry with something. I think eat. So Nima asked a question if how to say you were angry at something or angry with something. I think it takes e. So like ita, ei, or I guess I. Um, so like I think it's like this. Oku fa ita kiamele. Or sorry, I meant iamele. I think that's how it is. I could be wrong. It could be key instead. Yeah. Yeah, so it takes E, which is the same as Ofa. So I think that was in a previous lesson. Ofa ia mele would be like I love Mary, like my love is in Mary. Yeah. Um okay. So oko ita. Oko loto mahi. Kofia mohea. Kofia kaya. Kof kaya. Fia kaya, yeah. Kofia inua. Oko makona. Mhm. And sort of I'm not sure if they no, they don't introduce it here, but um makona, right? It means like you're full of food. A slightly less polite word is few. Um, yeah, koi, which means the exact same thing. It means are you full? I guess yeah. So you could have it like this. It's just a little bit less polite. Makona is pretty common. But usually people would ask me like few okay few koi, and yeah, and I think that is a Tonganization of full. I assume that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Did we do these ones? The opal? Right, yeah. No, yeah, we did because I was talking about yeah. Um, Namolata vava'u. Yeah, content. Namo mo'oi vava'u. Mhm. Namo ta'ilata vava'u. All right. O ma fia fia au pito. O ma ta'ilata au pito. O ma hela ia au pito. O ma mo'ua au pito. Ko ma loto ma mahi au pito. Ko ma ita au pito. Right. So yeah, there's a ton of vocabulary words in this chapter. Alpito is just like very um fie fie this is misspelled. Fie fia, fie nua, fie kaya, fie mohea. So all these are sort of I guess fie nua, fie kaya, fie mohea all makes sense why the fie is there. Um I'm not sure like yeah what this is. Fie fia. It kind of like fits in line, but it's yeah. Yes, so these ones are easy to remember because it's like Fia Inu, want to drink, Fia Kaya, want to eat, want to sleep. And so these meanings all make sense, but happy is kind of just you kind of just know I don't there's not like a hmm, yeah. So yeah. And then Helaia is tired or yeah, fatigued. Um it can also mean like tired with like tired of something, like bored with something, or kind of like irritated by something. Like I'm tired of your complaining, kind of that usage of it. Ita, angry. Um, Lata, opposite of ta'ilata, which is homesick, discontented with your environment. Um, Loto mamahi. Mamahi is just like, yeah. Yeah. Hmm, I see. Yeah, so mamahi is kind of like pain. And so Loto mamahi is like a pained heart, which is hence sad or upset. Right. Hmm. Right. And then yeah, makona full. No, loto is used with a lot of things regarding emotion. It's extremely common. It's kind of like almost every single emotion begins with loto. And so, let's see some examples. There's loto, like, Hele kolis. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we kind of did this last time or two times ago as well. Yeah, there's like Loto Faka. I don't know. Actually, let me see. Um, Let me find some more common ones like Loto Fefeka, hard-hearted, callous, unloving. Um, Loto. Let's see. Loto Fiefia, cold-hearted. Um, I don't know if that's a common saying. No, I don't think people say that. I mean, I can check. Let me see. No, it doesn't look like it. There's like Loto Mo'oni, sincere. Yeah. Yeah, Loto Mo'oni would just be like true, sincere, genuine. Loto Noa would be apathetic. Loto Nonga, tranquil. Um, Nonga is peace. There's like yeah, so like another one, Loto Si'i is one of the more common ones. Loto Si'i, which means nervous, timid, lacking in determination. There's yeah, Loto Taha, which means of a bunch of people to be unanimous or of one mind. Um, and same with like Loto Tatao. Loto Tatao means basically the same thing as Loto Taha. Yeah, and yeah, like the lotos, it goes on for like two full pages in the dictionary. Um, Tonga, does Tonga have Lulu? There's Longo, which kind of means something like that. I don't know. I mean, that's not like a Tongan word I know off the top of my head. So, no, Lulu is a Tongan word. It means to like shake. Yeah. Um, there are four definitions. It also means owl, Lulu. Yeah, so I think the closest thing in Tongan is Longo. Um, let's see, Longo. Longo, well, actually, I guess Longo means to be silent, not to speak. Uh, Longo means the same thing, pretty much. Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, to hold your peace. Yeah, and then let's see. So Makona, like I said, is full, satisfied, like I've had enough food. Mo'ua is like, yeah, like to be busy, kind of like put under like you have a lot of things to do. Preoccupies. Yeah. Yeah, and sort of like the way it's used in Tongan is sort of like put under a lot of things to do or like sort of like inflicted with busyness. Mm. And then yeah, also it means to be in debt or to like on invoices, mo'ua would be sort of the Tongan word for like the charge or the price. Yeah. Just because like yeah, because it like on invoices because it means debt, it would be like how much is owed. And then ta'ilata is homesick. All right, chapter 23. So yeah, so in the last chapter we learned a bunch of things with fie. This chapter kind of goes into how it's used. The dialogue is okay fie nofo I haapai. I did say that. Okay. Yeah, I mean I was speaking a little bit slower, so okay fie nofo I haapai. Io, ko fie nofo lahi ai. Okay fie alo ki wiha. Io, o ko fie alo lahi a pito ki ai. Cool. So yeah, lahi a pito. So the first note is about that. Lahi and Alpito both kind of yeah, they function identically. Lahi Alpito is said, but never Alpito Lahi. So if you're using both, which is common, saying Lahi Alpito is pretty common. And so yeah, so you can say well yeah, because Lahi means big. Right. Yeah, so mhm. Yeah, the way Shumway translate this is I really want to go versus I want to go very much. I don't think this isn't really important. He's just done this to show so that because you can say both of those. I really want to go very much in English, and so that kind of shows how you know that shows what the emphasis is like. Yeah, and really, yeah, there's like no difference between these two sentences. Um, okay, so the drills. Um, yeah, it's like saying very twice. Okay, okay, fi tokoni. Hmm. Yeah, I like about the pronunciation of this. Like I don't know if this said like do you want to fight. I feel like it'd be much more likely to just sound like "okay." But like if you were like asking someone, "Do you want to help?" I feel like you'd be speaking a little bit slower. You'd be speaking more politely, and it would sound more like "okay." And so I think that's why I'm changing from sentence to sentence. It's just the tone I'm trying to take on. Okay, okay, fie toko ni. Oko fie, mhm. Ko fie toko ni lahi. Ke fie alu. Mhm. Alu. Ko fie alu lahi. Ke fie ako. Ko fie ako. Ke fie ngawe. Mhm. Ke fie ngawe. Ko fie ngawe. Yeah, and so yeah, kind of like um because also like the word doesn't it's not as long as kind of this long A followed by two vowels kind of implies. Um like while this is the official way to write it, the long A kind of because the word really is ngawe, right? And so it's almost like this long A is kind of just like an accented A almost like that. Um Cause yeah, like a long A, because especially in foreign loan words, they will lengthen the stressed vowel that's in English, or the yeah, and so that kind of just represents stress sometimes. Um, I think there may be a chapter where he goes into this, and I think CM Churchward's grammar kind of goes into that sometimes. But yeah, like it really isn't ngaue. Like it isn't really doesn't sound like that very often. Ngaue. Hmm. Okay, we'll move on. Como fi Acapulco. Yeah, I'm saying we already did this one, so we're on to this one now. Como fi Acapulco. Ou como fi Acapulco. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Ou como fi Acapulco. Yeah, so it's como fiaca pulu, como fiaca pulu. Mm-hmm. Hello, welcome to the internet. Erm has joined. Hello, so you can actually speak. Oh, that's some bad internet. Mhm. We're in chapter 23. Yeah, you could just look at the screen if you wanted. Okay, so all right. So do you just want to repeat after me then? I'll read this and then Akwilea will go after you. So let's see. Ukumau fiakapulu. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Que fiakapulu. It Yeah, it depends. Like certain vowel combinations kind of get diphthongized. Um and I mean like my pronunciation isn't perfect either. You know, I'm not a native speaker, so it's probably influenced by English a lot. But I think Shumway in the book mentions a few times that it sometimes sounds like a diphthong. Like OU a lot of the time will AI AU. And so okay, if you kai, it's not kai, kai. It's kai. And especially like the faster, more slurred someone's speaking, it'll blend together even more. So it sounds like okay, fie kai pulu. Mm. Mm. What did you want to hear the difference with, Arm? Oh, right, okuke. Yeah, so like in normal spoken Tongan, okuke doesn't really sound like that. It's more like oke or ke. Um, like a lot of the time it'll kind of just sound like a harder K at the beginning. Be like ke pulu. Um, where kind of that's just like the O and the U both becoming not voiced almost, and so it kind of just turns into or K. And so like if someone was speaking at a normal pace, it'd be like ke pulu. You know, if someone was offering you some beef, and then this one be um, a lot of the time okuo. Um, it basically never sounds like that okuo. That's very like a beginner way for that to sound, and so a lot of the time it'll just sound like ko kai moa. Yeah, like people don't say I am or you are in English almost ever. It's always gets reduced. And so yeah, so like that's why I think it's like the same thing as saying I am while speaking normally in English. It just kind of sounds wrong. And that's the same thing with okuo. People will usually say ko or yeah, just ko. Ko. Then if I got the apple, this one, okay, fia kai pulu. Um, okay, repeat after me then. Que fia kai pulu. Oh, yeah, I think we lost him. Hello? Oh, okay. Um, here, let's start at this one. Just repeat after me. Okay, fia kai pulu. Is something wrong? Okay. Oh. Ko fia kai moa. The K-O-U. Go. Go. Ko fia kai moa. You try saying it? Fia kai moa. Right. Yeah, sounds good. Mm-hmm. Que fia fai kavapo. Yeah. It's gay here. Mm-hmm. Fai. Right. Okay, so section two, question answered. We'll just keep going. Just repeat after me. Um, Kifito ni. Wait, whoops, typo. Kifito ni kiete vita. Yeah, the only thing there is you're kind of doing like a, a your T sound was a little aspirated. Yeah, you kind of sounded Samoan there. It's devita. It's yeah, it's like a voiceless D. So it's not devida. De. I mean, we're not in the same room, so maybe it doesn't come across right. But like d, sort of like if you put your hand on your throat, you can hear your vocal cords moving when you make the first d sound. Whereas this one is de devita. So like the yeah. And so yeah, so English doesn't have this. I mean, like we make the sound, I guess. Do we? Are there any like SD? No, we don't. No, we don't have it at all. But like, there's no words that go SD, right? Yeah, so we don't have it. Cold? No. Yeah, so there's voiced and voiceless. Oh wait, sorry, no, there is voiceless T in English. I'm sorry, and that's what this is. I mean, kind of, or like unaspirated T. Sorry, is what I meant. Yeah, so this is unaspirated T, which you have. So like start, the T in start isn't aspirated. Um, s it's exactly the same. Yeah, so we don't usually think of them as being different in English, but like if you say tart and start, the T is actually two different sounds. One's aspirated, one isn't. Which like yeah, if you have a piece of paper in front of your it's actually so different that if you take a recording of someone saying start and you remove just the S and then you play it, it sounds like they're saying dart. Even though they did say start and there was a T there, it sounds exactly like dart. Because there's no air coming out on the T. It's just a no aspirationless T. And so that's the T in Tongan. So it's okefitoko ni ki devita rather than okefitoko ni ki tevita. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's hard just because it's very different from English. But the idea is in between a T and a D. If you kind of think of it like that, that's the easiest way. French. Okay, do you want to try saying this again? Yeah, for sure. All right. Devita. Uh, yeah, so this is David. Um, Devita. And then the response is Io confitto con i chiai. Yeah. Um, Come fio chi fai oh, sorry. Come fio chi he fai va? Um, Okumo, Mo, Kumo. Um, I mean, in normal conversation, like very casual, a lot of the time the oku is just dropped entirely. So a lot of the time people just say "mofio he faiva" or "ki faiva." Yeah, this is faiva. So there's it's he faiva, and so the definitive accent's right there at the end of the a. No, yeah, you have to say "ki he faiva." No, because "ki faiva" would, yeah, that's something else. It might have been in the last lesson we learned that E is dropped. Was it 21? Yeah, I don't remember which lesson it was, but um yeah, there's some things that are dropped, but sort of in this sentence here, um yeah, kihei kind of has to stay. Kifaiva? Yeah, ihe, the E is dropped. Yeah, ki is kept. And in this case, mhm, yeah, it's like he faiva, so like it's like specifically that movie or that performance. And so you like there's probably like a version where it's like a normal A and maybe the hey is dropped. Kifaiva. Like maybe someone would say that just to mean like any old movie. Maybe, but I'm not sure. That's not something I've yeah. Although usually someone would say matafaiva, which is usually they say like watching movies or shows. And then kifile kitahine. Oh, five again. Oh, right. I forgot at the response. You're right. Sorry. Io, come fiochiai. Yeah, good. Mhm. So the only thing there is it kind of like the fie and the o kind of blended together a little bit too much. It sounded like you said fio instead of fieo. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not o, it's o. Yeah. Ki, kiai. Mhm. Kufiele kitahine. Tahine. Mm. Ta'a, ta'a, like that. Tahine, ta'a, ta'a. Yeah. Kitahine. Da, da, da. Yeah, again, it depends on how fast you're speaking. So it tends more towards da, like long A, if you're speaking very fast and slurring a little bit more. And then, io kufialekiai. Nakif, nakifia folau he waka. Yeah, it's not naake, it's nake. It's yeah, it sounds like more like nake. And if I was speaking like carefully, it would sound nake fiafolau he waka. I guess that doesn't sound very different. But yeah. Io, naku fiafolau ai. Como fia ngawe nuku nuku. In ngawe or which one? It's kind of both of these use nuku nuku, just because it's the same word twice, and so it's not nuku nuku, it's nuku nuku. And that's kind of just like reduplicated words like this. Usually, it sounds like the same short word twice, and so homofia ngawe nuku nuku, nuku nuku. Oh, ngawe. Yeah, that's a hard word. Iyo, kumafia ngawe ai. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I feel like trying to do an impersonation of native speakers actually just makes you sound a lot better. And I feel like a lot of people are too embarrassed to try to do that, and they end up sounding too much like Americans. French, Tongan. Hmm. Um, yeah, I guess unaspirated consonants kind of maybe make it sound more nasally. Hmm. Um, mhm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The next one is Kifiako America. Uh huh. In front of America. Oh yeah, yeah. The gloss up in front of E is not super like it's there because it never blends in with the previous word. But it's not always like it has to be super harsh. E Io Kofiakwai. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So fie, which was introduced in this chapter, just goes before verbs. Wants to, would like to. Another thing that's important is before like adjectives, it doesn't really work like I want to become this way. Um, it usually has like very different connotation. Yes, that's exactly it. It makes you sound like so like Fiepoto. Fiepoto is like is a very very common insult for people who are like smart alecky. Um, and it's like yeah, people don't like people who are fiapoto. It's kind of how that is, and so probably like hoko. Hoko means like to like become or like occur. Go fia hoko uh poto ange or like more poto, I guess. Go fia hoko poto. I want to be poto. I want to be smart. Oko oko fia. I'm not like totally sure like how I want to become smart. Um, but yeah, like oko fia hoko poto maybe. No. Yeah. Fia hoko fia fia. Yeah. Yeah, so that's exactly it. Like, because Nima said "go fia fia fia" before, and that would be right. Go fia hoko fia fia. Yeah, that sounds much better. But yeah, it's interesting. In the dictionary, they have two different entries. One is fiamare, which is like content, satisfied, and free from pain. They also have fie space malie, which is to imagine oneself to be able to do things in a splendid or admirable way. Um, there's like fielahi is another very common one, um, which is like you want to seem tough, basically. And so people who are fielahi are kind of just like aggressive. It's to imagine oneself to be great, to desire to be treated as a person of importance. In other words, proud or haughty. Um, oh yeah, yeah. So you just need to be careful with that because a lot of the like if you use fia in the wrong way, it'll be an insult. Uiha. Yeah, and a lot of the times when Tongans say this, it does kind of just sound like Weha, as if there was a W. Um, and so for me, it was kind of hard to remember that it was spelled with a glottal stop, because when Tongans were talking about Weha, it would just kind of sound like that, like Weha. Um, Ha'apai. Yeah. So here, this is the yeah Ha'apai. This one, it's so funny to hear because when the volcano erupted, everyone was calling it um Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai, which is I don't know why they were calling it that. Like I'm sure no one in Tonga has ever called it Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai. So it's just Hunga Tonga. Hunga is just the name of these things. I mean I could look it up, but I just kind of knew it as a name, a place name. Yeah, it's like saying Phoenix, Arizona twice. It's like saying Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, Maricopa, which is the county that Phoenix is in. And I think they were saying it because I think they might call this. See, like why does it say Isla? My language is not. It says Isla, Isla, Isla Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai. No, I was like checking, like is it mine in Spanish? But no, I like the thing is like this name, like I don't. It feels like the West kind of came in and was like, no, we're gonna call it this. I don't know. Because like I don't know, like maybe they were calling these differently because like one's closer to Hot Bai and one's closer to Tonga. Yeah, yeah, because because Tonga also means south, so like this, I bet the actual correct is this is Hunga Tonga and this is Hunga Hot Bai. But yeah, just listening to news reporters say Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai was just so painful because no one can say Ha'apai, even though it's so like if you know how to say it, it's not really hard for an English speaker to say Ha'apai. But like even if they were saying Ha'apai, right? That would be fine. But they were saying Ha'apai or Ha'api or Ha'apei. You know, it's painful. But yeah, right. Yeah, HVAR. That's not fun. Sure. Far. Yeah. So there's yeah. The other vocabulary words are pule, which is boss. Hala. Yeah, my uncle like lived in Croatia for 2 years. I could maybe he knows how to pronounce that better. Um, let's see. Yeah, so Devita is David, of course. Uiha is an island. And yeah, so just to show you, Uiha is this island right here. So here's the main. This is the main town. This is the third. Actually, I don't know if this is like the third biggest city, but I kind of like in my head it is because it's like Nuku'alofa. This area is like the big city for Tonga, and then there's Neafu for Vava'u, and then there's Pangai for Hawaii. And so I kind of think of this as the third big city in Tonga. So yeah, so there's Niua. Yeah, so there's Niua Topatapu and there's Niua Fo'o. So these are these two islands. So what's happened is because these are part of Tonga, there's a lot of travel in between the two Niuas and down with the rest of Tonga. And so geographically, it is like it's closer to Samoa. You know, like Niua Fo'o is closer to um the it's Wallace and Futuna. What is yeah right here. Uvea, right. That's what the language they speak. Um where's Uvea? Is that this? Wallace? Is that I think Uvea is just Wallace in the language. Whatever it is. Um so yeah, it is closer to all of these. Like even like Fiji over here. Yeah, it's closer to Fiji than Tonga. But because people like people from these places will come down to Vava'u and they'll come down to Tonga all the time. They'll like if you need to get your passport, you need to come down here. People will go out there for whatever reasons. And so the languages have kind of all merged into Standard Tongan. And so real what? Really? I've never which islands? Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then like Right. Hmm. Yeah, like Niue does have like their own language, and it's pretty close to Tongan. But New Zealand has taken it over. It was, I think it was like Tonga did control it at some point. Um, well, yeah, Tonga controlled a lot. Like at the peak of the Tonga Empire, they got a lot of all this. But now it's just down to this and the Niue's. Anyways, oh yeah, so that's Weha. Um, that is right there. Okay, lesson Wafa. Lesson Wafa. So introducing Saya and Ia. So just repeat after me then. Okay, saya he makai. Si si pe. Que saya ia seni. Si si. Si si. Si si. Um, yeah, si si. It kind of the last I kind of disappears, and so it kind of sounds like si si, but you kind of have to like make like you're gonna pronounce it, but just like because it's like you're still pronouncing it, it's just like not really voiced. So si si pe. O que saya ia seni. Io, ko sa ia lahi ai. So Saia occurs with E. Ia is like the E version of Kia, which occurs with proper names of people. So Ia Seni, Ia Pita, Ia Kepu is how that works. Versus, I think in lesson 17 or something like that, we learned Kia, which is just the same thing, but you use it for names. And again, with Kia, I kind of showed that we don't really use kiate. The book kind of teaches kiate ao like that, but usually it's actually kiao. Kao is kind of sounds like that sometimes. Sometimes Tongans will write kao instead of kiao, and especially not kiateo. Right. Yeah, so that's just like that's just kiateo contracted even further to kao. Yes, so I was just saying, so we read the dialogue. Um, so yeah, so Saia goes with I, or I mean with Ia. Wait, I use wait. Can you say can you say that again? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So I by itself is just short for EI, which is short for Iateia. Yeah, whether it's Ia or just E. or iate. It all goes to I. Yeah, like yeah. Hmm. Oh, right, yeah. Because I mean, like really, it gets translated to "Do you like Jane?" where like is a verb. But in this one, saia, the word means filled with like or filled with good or like goodness. Yeah, and then it within Jane. So that's how that works. Um, and yeah, so we just see that ia corresponds with kia. We're seeing that um, just like people don't say kiate, people don't say iate. It's iao. Um, iao. Yeah. So iao, um, yakoi, iamoa, iamotolu. Yeah, so like that. Um, yeah, or yeah, kimowa, kita kimoto. Yeah, so it's not ia kimoa, it's just moa. And that's how it gets shortened down. Okay, so let's do the drills. Um, Kisai he ako lea. O kisai he tala noa. Kisai he ufihi. Kisai he ika. Kisai he kava. On ika. Yeah, ika. No, it's ika. Yeah, I mean, like from an English perspective, you would like. I feel like if this was an English, like initial I, because I think in English we try to distinguish it from yika, and so we kind of say it like ika, but it's ika, ika. Oh, not English. Right. Did I read this one? No. Okay. Kisai he kava. Okomosai he whaiako. Okomosai he akapulu. Say yeah. That is okay. It yeah, saying as if this was the diphthong I and then followed by ia, kind of like how it is in English. That's fine. Saia. Como saia i Tonga? Yeah, so all of these hey was short for ihe, and now we have e, which never like hey doesn't come after this if there's like a proper place name. So now it's kind of switched. When you're in that country. Yeah, if someone in Tonga was asking you this, they would always add. They would always say Tongan. Yes. Yeah. So if you were talking to someone else and you were both in America, it'd be like that. Or like, yeah. Do you like it here? Do you like it here in Tonga? But it's more than that because it sounds kind of weird if you don't add Tongani. And yeah, and I was kind of confused for a long time because a lot of the time it kind of just sounds like they're saying Tongan. Say Tongan. And then like a lot of the time I was like, why do people say Tongan? Like I was confused, but no, they're saying Tongani. And like the I just kind of gets unvoiced and kind of disappears. Say Tongan is kind of how that would sound sometimes. And then Omo saya Omo saya I Amerika. Yeah. O que saya e pita. That's que saya e pita is kind of how that would sound at full speed. Mm-hmm. Como saya e mele. Omo Omo saya e mele. Que saya e kepu. O que saya ao he fai ka. Sorry. O que saya ao he fai va. O que saya ao ia mele. It sounds like you're saying oh like in someone. I think that's someone. I don't know someone. O que saya ao ia mele. Saya ao ia mele. That is how Samoan works, right? Like this would be Sayao, right? Yeah. Que saya koe he ngawe. Koe he ngawe. Que saya koe he ngawe. Mm. Que saya koe he whakawa. Mhm. Um, eh, what the? Wait, why can't I? There's like some weird formatting here. This should be. I see. Whoops. There we go. Oko ikai deu sayao iao. Um, yeah, that's fine. Ikai kyo sayao iao. Um, so with reflexive, Tonga doesn't really have like a good way to do that. I mean, like a lot of the way it's they'll add be after it. So I mean, like that's more important when you're talking about himself or herself because you don't know whether they mean someone else, right? Like nanetamete iya, right? Like, do you mean like how would you say himself? But they usually say nanetamete ipe iya, or tamete iya pe. Sorry, yeah. So I think I misspoke because yeah, ipe doesn't sound right. Nanetamete ipe iya, or I'm not sure. Nanetamete iya pe. I think that's it actually. Um, um, yeah, it's not in a not ipe. Nanetamete iya pe. I'm not sure because again, like yeah, I'm actually not certain how to do reflexive because it's kind of weird. Okay. Okay. Question answer. Um. Kasaya, how'd this happen? Like, and the same thing has happened here. Whatever. Kasaya kakaito nga. Oh, I'm dropped. Okay, he'll be back. Erm left. We'll just continue on. He says he'll be back. Iyo kasaya. Kasaya he ako lea. Iyo kasaya. Aha. Kumasaya he faiva. Iyo kum iyo kumasaya. Kum kumasaya he hiva. Iyo kumasaya. Kisaya he mohe. Iyo kasaya. Kasaya i hapai. How many spaces? Did this whole thing get tabbed? Um, yeah, this is weird. It's like this whole thing is indented. It is indented. How much is indented? Um, it looks like it started here, and everything after here has been indented. No, it stopped. It stopped here. So there, it's all been fixed. There we go. I just changed the indent. It was off. So let me actually that means I probably want to undo all that reformatting I did. Um, I'm not totally sure. Welcome back. Talitalilele is usually how they translate welcome. Yeah, welcome back is I'm not really sure. Okaeri na sai. I don't. People don't really say that. I mean, maybe they say like something like, "Oh, Fokimai, eh?" I don't know. Okaili. Yeah, sure. Just say that. I'm sure everyone will understand. Let's see. Okay, here we are. What? It's still that? What? How did this? I'm surprised that that's still like that. Oh, actually, it's because it's my fault. There we go. Um. So we were here. No. I've been trying to if you see on the left, I've been trying to reformat what we have. So I've been adding things to like tables instead of like doing all that hassle with formatting things differently. And I've also just changed it to have automatic page numbers. And I've been marking things with like headings so that it all gets added to the navigation panel. I have the ones you've made. I just haven't gotten that far because I've only gotten up to like lesson 17. And there's like a few things like I figured out you can box highlight in Word, which is really nice because if I couldn't do this, it'd be way harder. But yeah, it still takes a long time even just reformatting it. And my plan was to get up to what we have, and then transcribing new chapters should be faster because you could just put them in tables, and you'd have all this up here. What was my plan once I have everything transcribed? I have no idea. Okay, so we were. Go ahead. Um, right. We just had this one. Okay, saya ihapay. Um, okay, kakita ilo? I don't know. I don't think so. Kake. Oh. No, it's just like apini, siasini, lokini. Yeah, the place that you are in. Um, and yeah. There's also koeni, which you can add if it doesn't sound right. Hmm? Um, talonoani, taimini. Yeah. Yeah, it just means this. So it can be used for anything that you could use this with. Right. So this chapter we learned saia, to like, enjoy, to be full of joy about is kind of the most direct translation. And then taranoa is a story, a conversation. It just means to talk to people. It can mean any of those. And of course, like the base of that is tala noa, um, where yeah, and this is the same noa as in like noa. Well, yeah, it's like nothing or not really nonsense, but like nonsense or something not important. Another example is tohi noa is journal. Yeah, yeah. So that's how that works. Okay. Let's 25. Let's remove the formatting. Introducing negative present form. Introducing. Yeah. Wakateru. People just say heilo for that, which is just like a specific thing. Yeah. Yeah, it is. See, so you can see right here, oke ita, is it ikai, oku ikai te o ita. Ikia, ikai. There you go. Oke ita, ke ita. Mm-hmm. Ikai, oku ikai te o ita. Yes, that is true. So, oku ikai ke ita is how you would say that. Oku ikai ke ita ao. Yeah. Or oku ikai te o ita. Those are the two ways of saying the same thing. People, if you look, I'm pretty sure Tongans do actually use keo. Yeah, because keo can be said. It's like keo. It's like the two, but like the two that means so that like to go to solve a problem, sort of like that kind of two. Um, but yeah, like formally it's ikaiteu ita. But I think sometimes Tongans will just use it. I mean, if I search keu, if I see if anyone's ever used it, let's see. Okay, kai keo ilo. See, Alexa wrote okui. I don't know is okui kai ke u ilo instead of te u ilo. Are any of those ikai? Yeah. So see, so even though Shumway teaches that it's teu, you can see clearly that ikai geu is still used. And so it's kind of just like I guess it's just one of those things that it's not really decided one way or the other. But I think formally, yeah, koe kai koe ilo koe ha koe fo i leo totonu ke le ai. Ka saipe teu fokin pehe fokin moe keu. So yeah, so either way is fine. The next one is Kifia Kaika right here. Fie. Hmm. Um, yeah, this one. Just read this. Mahalo pe. Koe kai teo fia kaya. Yeah, good. Mahalo pe is no thank you. It's yeah, yeah. So it's not ikai malo as I don't know. It's no, it's malo pe. Which is something said all the time because when I was in Tonga, people would offer to feed us all the time. even when we've just eaten. So we'd have to say, "Oh, malo pe o kuma osma kona maua." Osma kona maua. We're already full. We've already eaten. Uh, yeah. So the negative pattern involving. Oh, so yeah. So some ways says it right here. It's ikaite or ikaike. So he uses ikaite in all of it, but really it's just like it's either or, and I don't think there's much of like a consensus on which one's correct or like when one is better. Um, why is this? Yeah, no one will notice. It's all good. There. Um, yeah, right. All right. Um, so yeah, these are just some examples. Like okofia mohea turns into okoikaite fia mohea. Oko nao fia fia is okoikaite nao fia fia. Oko mau mo'ua, okoikaite mau mo'ua. So here's some drills to practice that. Okoikaite o lata heni. Okoikaite o loto mamahi. Okoika, okoikaite ne mo'ua. Okoikaite ne fa'aita. Okoikaite o fia alu. Fa'a. Um, it becomes more and more like fa the faster you're speaking. Kaite ni fa'ita. Like that. Like if you were speaking kaite ni fa'ita. It kind of sounds like that. Yeah. Did I read this already? Kaite te fia alu. Yeah, oko ikai. I mean, like actually, because it is written this way, but a lot of people will just say ikai. Like they'll just start the sentence with ikai. Um, so ikai te fia alu. But like I don't really think of that as being like the oku is just reduced to being I don't know because like ikai starts with its own glottal stop and so I don't know it's just yeah don't wanna yeah kai te fia but yeah just starting a sentence with ikai is pretty common where the oku is implied oku ikai te fia fia yeah it disappears rather than being like super reduced yeah oku ikai te fia fia oku ikai te fia ngawe oku ikai te mau ngaunga oku ikai te ni fia hau oku ikai te ilo yes this is what you were asking. Yeah, kate hilo. Kate hilo. It's so it depends. Like, dunno. Like, I don't know. Is heilo. But like, so heilo has a more of just like, oh, I don't really know and I don't really care. Whereas ikaito ilo means like I don't know, and like I really like, it's a little more emphatic. Where hey ilo is kind of like, it also kind of sounds like, and I don't care that much to know. I don't know. I don't know. Hey ilo. Um, no, it's kind of, hey ilo is kind of its own thing, and there's like nothing else that works with. Yeah, not anything else. Right. Okay, substitution. Koe kai te whia kai ia. Koe kai te whia mohea. Koe kai te whia inua. Whia inoa. Whia inua. O koe kai te umakona. Koe kai te lata. Koe kai te hela ia. Koe kai te ni whia alu. Koe kai te ni whina nofo. Whia nofo. Koe kai te ni whia ako. Koe kai te ni whia vainga. Koe kai te ni whia hau. 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 Yeah. O koe kai te o saia hika. Oh, he's muted. O koe kai te o saia he mea kai. O koe kai te o saia he ngā wei. O koe kai te o saia he akapulu. S yeah. Right. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be saying the positive statement and then the negative. Kolata. O koe kai te o lata. Ko whia kai a. O koe kai te o whia kai a. Here, let's just do the negative because that's what we're practicing now. O koe kai te o whia kai pulu. O koe kai te o whia mohea. O koe kai te o ita. O koe kai te o ngau e kolo. O koe kai te o wha alu ki lotu. Te o lotu. Koe kai te o saia he akapuru. Koe kai te o ilo. And so we got ilo, which is no, but it also means knowledge. It also means find, which is important. Yeah. Um, so yeah, like I found something. It's important. It's ilo. Right, but yes, it's like the other way. Right. Yes. Yeah. And laonga is was shown in one of the examples in this. It just means like to complain. Laonga. Laonga. Yeah. Yeah, this AU kind of goes on. Um it looks like lounge or languish. It kind of looks like almost. And then malope is refusing food. So there we go. That was 5 chapters.